Hi, how's it going? It's your neighbor Amos, and today I'm going to be giving you an overview of the board game Kingdomino. And as the name suggests, it's very similar to the game of checkers. Just kidding. It pretty much has the same concept as Dominoes, but with a twist. Kingdomino was created in 2016 and it's meant for 2 to 4 players, and you can actually have fun with only 2 players. So the objective of the game, each player is a king, building up their 5x5 kingdom through acquiring territories and scoring the highest amount of points. If you wanted to know what it's like to be royalty, then pick up a bag of Burger King food, have it your way, and be a king by playing this game, Kingdomino. According to the manual, each game is supposedly supposed to last 15 to 20 minutes, but in my experience, it ends in about 5 to 10 minutes. It goes by really fast. So how do you play? With 4 players, you would be using all 48 dominoes, and with 3 players, you would minus 12 and use 36 dominoes. But for this case and example, I will be showing you the 2-player version in which you use 24 dominoes. Why 2-player version? Because it's me and myself, and I don't really want to include just me, myself. So for 2 players, you want to make sure that there's 24 dominoes, and the easiest way to do that is you split the deck in half, and it should equal 24 and 24. So you would take one deck and put it into the playing box. Once you put the 24 dominoes into the playing box, you want to pick 4 cards from the top and place them onto the table, ordering them from numerical value, from lowest to highest. In this case, an example, it would be 13, 14, 29, 48. Lowest to highest. After you have done that, then you want to flip it over so that you can see the terrain side of each card. At which point, you will transition into picking 2 kings of the same color to represent you. And after you select the color that you want, you also want to pick the corresponding fort color that goes along with it. For this example and demonstration, I will pick the yellow kings because it's an underrated color. And all the cool kids always go for blue and red. So I'm sorry, green, but today I'm going to be picking yellow. And my opponent will be blue. Once you have selected the kings that you want to play with, you can put the other ones away. Because I'm playing with the yellow kings, I will have the yellow fort. And the blue kings will have the blue fort. To decide who goes first, you will pick up all the king pieces and put them into your fist. I suggest the guy with the biggest hand to do this task. At which point, you will randomly select which color goes first. And remember, there's no cheating by feeling for the color, saying, oh, you know, this one's gonna feel purple. Alright, it's blue. Since my opponent's blue king was the first pick, he has his choice on which territory he wants to claim. In this case, an example, he can have this one. And then you do it again. Yellow, mine. So in this case, I would pick this one. And you do it again. Blue, he can have that one. And then obviously the last one is the only option left. I'll pick this one. By the way, it's probably better to set aside the forts that aren't being used. There we go. Essentially what I did here was by randomly picking the colors, they had the choice to pick which territory they wanted, and I repeated this until all 4 territories were claimed and all 4 kings were satisfied. Are you satisfied? Yes, we are! When all 4 territories have been satisfied, you select 4 more dominoes from the pile, and again placing them in numerical value from lowest to highest. So in this case, an example, it would go from 12 to 22, to 42, to 46. And after you have done that, then you flip it over. The same rules apply to the new 4 dominoes as it did to the previous set, ranging from the lowest to the highest. Except this time, the king on top goes first in picking his territory. I'll explain further. Once the game reaches this point, then the round begins. And the order of turns are predetermined by the placement of the kings. So in this case, an example, he would go first, he would go second, third, and fourth. Now when it's your turn, in this case, an example, the blue king, you have to do 2 actions. Build onto your kingdom, that's the blue king's territory, and also claim a new territory. So what you would do is, since this is the first guy to go first, he would take his piece off and put it on to his kingdom over here. And then he would have to claim a new territory that he wants. In this case, an example, he'll go here. And then the next person to go is here, and then after that him, and then after that him. So he will take his piece off right here and put his piece right there. And he will select that one. And now it's my turn. So I will take my piece off right here and put my piece onto my fort right there. And I will select this one. And the same thing, so that's the last choice, so I'll put this one here, take this one here, and put that one right there. Once all 4 pieces are claimed again, you will repeat the process by taking 4 more dominoes out of the box and placing them in numerical value from lowest to highest. You might want to shuffle your dominoes, otherwise it's going to be very similar numbers like mine are. After building onto the kingdom, like Bob the Builder, do you even know who that is? You're going to claim new territory on the right side, and the order that you go in is already determined from top to bottom. So in this case, an example, I would go first, he would go second, he would go third, and then I would go last right here. But to do that, first you want to flip over the territory right here. And you repeat this process until eventually all the dominoes from the magic box right here are all gone. So you draw 4 more dominoes each time the original 4 disappear because they're going to be used to build onto the kingdoms. Now before I go any further, I wanted to explain the Kingdom 5x5 rule. What exactly is the 5x5 rule? The 5x5 rule states that you cannot exceed past that number. So in this case, an example, we would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's already predetermined right here that horizontally, I cannot pass extend this point and this point because I've already reached the 5x5 rule right here. But vertically, I can still add 1 on top of here to make it a 5x5 or down here to make it a 5x5. Does that make sense? So remember, the Kingdom 5x5 rule is that you cannot exceed past that 5x5 barrier, such as trying to squeeze into the jeans that flattered your days in college. Not happening. So what happens if you select a domino that cannot fit into your kingdom, like your ex-girlfriend? Then it must be discarded. You can only do this if it doesn't fit within the 5x5 kingdom rule, or it does not match any available terrain. See how this domino right here cannot be placed here because it doesn't match any of the ones right here or right here, plus it already breaks the 5x5 rule. Does that make sense? Your fort is a wild card. It can shapeshift into any territory in order to accommodate the pieces around it. But remember, you can't just willy-nilly discard whenever you feel like it. You can only discard a domino if it doesn't fit within the 5x5 rule or it doesn't match any of the available terrains. Got it? The game ends when there are no more available dominoes, at which you would add up all the points and the higher score would win. But here's the kicker. Only territories with at least 1 crown in it qualify as a point. The point system can be a little confusing, but let me show you what I'm talking about. See right here, I have 2 territories that look alike. So I have 2 pieces of the same territory, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 crowns. So it'd be 5 times 2. So from here, I would gather 10 points. Now what about here? I have 2 pieces from the same territory, but I only have 2 crowns. So this right here would be 2 times 2, 4. Now what about this forest right here? I have 1, 2 crowns, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it would be 7 times 2, which equals 14. This cannot be added to this territory because it is diagonal. It can only be vertical and horizontal. And that wraps it up. Kingdomino, a strategy game where the best king wins, slays the dragon, and wins over the pretty princess. What? I'm just kidding. May the best king win. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you later, neighbor.